unbelievable. I couldn't believe Jimmy DeMarco lived through that match. But the Prince of Perversion, the Doctor of Debauchery, is in for his toughest test, in my opinion, and the toughest man in IWC, Ray Rowe. Ray Rowe is a wrecking machine. And you can see in their eyes right now as they stare down, this is all business for Ray Rowe.
Now we've touched on the deep amount of personal disdain that exists between these two men throughout the wrestling business whenever they've encountered one another. Notably here as well, keep in mind, once Ray Rowe was unleashed in IWC, once he became the emotionless assassin, once he became part of the Cleveland Mafia, really, I believe the first man to pin him was Jimmy DeMarco some years ago, and I don't think Ray Rowe ever forgot about that.
Well, Ray Rowe doesn't take any loss lightly. I mean, if you remember back a few years ago when he lost to Samoa Joe, that really lit a fire under Ray Rowe. That really changed Ray Rowe's entire complexion in this company. And right now, you're just seeing some huge haymakers, some violent shots from Ray Rowe into Jimmy DeMarco.
And we're seeing the fist, a vicious chop, and bounty or no bounty, I don't think Ray Rowe's changed his game plan up one bit. And DeMarco spitting in the face of Ray Rowe, spitting in the face of adversity, spitting in the face of Norm Connor's obstacles. That is, oh God, did you see how hard DeMarco hit?
Jimmy DeMarco is unbelievable. The amount of punishment that this guy can take is ridiculous. If you want to call it testicular fortitude, whatever you want to call it, but the bottom line is Ray Rowe is already in this match dished out more punishment than most can take, and Jimmy D is begging for more.
DeMarco firing back. And when you look at, you talk about heart, you talk about the fortitude. How can you look at that effort, whether it's against Rowe, Necro Butcher, anybody we've seen DeMarco against, how can you look at this effort and tell yourself and tell anybody else DeMarco doesn't deserve something in this business? DeMarco has gone through the school of hard knocks. He's paid price after price to get where he is.
Absolutely. I mean, let's be honest. Jimmy DeMarco was the clown prince of IWC for quite some time. And only in the last couple of months, year if you will, have we really started to see what Jimmy DeMarco can do.
Oh, shoulder first in the post.
Starting last September when Jimmy DeMarco chose not to lay down for Mickey Gambino so that he could get into the heavyweight title tournament. Jimmy DeMarco almost won that title tournament. Jimmy DeMarco was right in the mix there for the heavyweight title. And then you saw that violent match where him and his partner, the former Hollywood Balds, against the Gambinos. I mean, that was a bloodbath of a match. Jimmy DeMarco has really staked his claim as one of the top guys in IWC here. He just has to get through Ray Rowe to really plant the flag.
And we really didn't expect that out of Jimmy DeMarco in the past. A lot of times you look at his reputation, his over-the-top personality, his antics, and it's really easy to overlook DeMarco's technical skills, his toughness, and his success in the ring. But DeMarco's making people take notice of that, whether they like to, being the fans, or whether they don't, being in the front office.
You know, I will slightly agree with you here. However, again, as we talked about earlier on who you want representing your company, you know, do you want the Clown Prince representing your company? And I can understand why Honors, making a smart business decision, would put the belt on Ray Rowe, helping Ray Rowe get over Shima Zion, to have somebody like Ray Rowe, a former mixed martial artist, somebody who, Ray Rowe was just in a Hollywood movie with Kurt Angle.
That's true. That's
Ray Rowe is, I mean, a person in this business who you can plant a flag and say, this is my guy. And Ray Rowe right now is violent and is, you know, detrimental to people as he might be. Is the guy that Norm Connors wanted his company.
Oh, DeMarco's got a handful. You talk about fortitude, how about a claw?
A testicular claw there from Jimmy DeMarco. And I can't say that I would, I guess I probably would do that.
Ouch! And Ray Rowe taking offense to that, as justifiably so, and now bending the arm and shoulder on that tightly enforced ring cable. That's not going to feel good. There's not a lot of give in those ropes.
Absolutely not. Ray Rowe, as I touched on earlier, is a mixed martial artist. Ray Rowe knows how to tear somebody apart.
Yeah.
How to take someone limb from limb and break them down.
You've seen it many times.
And he's starting that right now with Jimmy DeMarco.
But you know, you want to talk about what's good for, oh my, DeMarco, again, perhaps gutsy to a fault. Perhaps loyal to his cause to a fault. As he's not only fighting a lion, he's taunting it, he's teasing it. And an atomic drop, and a spine buster. Demarco able to slip underneath Rowe to take Rowe down. Nicely done. You talk about what's good for business. By the sound of things, Jimmy Demarco is good for business, certainly. And Rowe, one of the best athletes here of all time, no question about it. But did he need the unfair help to get the championship? Probably not. That's what's so frustrating about the baddest man in IWC.
I'll agree with that. I will completely agree with that, as I think Rowe could run through any man on any given night. One thing about Demarco you have to respect, and I'm even going to give the devil his due, if you will. The power that Jimmy Demarco holds in that small frame is unbelievable. We've seen him, hoist guys 3 times his size up on his back. Not to mention, you just saw him power up Rowe with one arm for a spine buster.
Oh, he's a tough guy, no question. Demarco introducing Rowe to some of our implements here at ringside, and I don't believe it's officially a no DQ match, but you got to have expected it to go that way. I don't think the referee is going to step in because, quite frankly, the referee, I think, values his life.
Well, that, not to mention the fact that we know the history here. Yes. We know what's at stake, and I believe the referee is going to give them a little bit of leeway so that this ends tonight.
Oh, we might see a lot of leeway right now. What is this? Demarco, thank God, goes downstairs to save himself. And Rowe hits the steel hard.
That should be a disqualification. If not for the low blow, but for that. And you can tell that referee, who is that? Bobby Williams, I believe in there, is letting it go. He just doesn't. He's letting these two fight it out to the end.
No way for these guys to protect themselves on that ramp. Demarco's proud of himself. But if you hear what Rowe said before we saw that exchange, he's going to end Jimmy Demarco's career. It seems like Rowe's still after that bounty, whether it's there or not. Rowe is out for blood. He's out for malicious intent. He's out. No! Suplex! Good Lord!
Oh my God!
Demarco lands in Twisted Steel, and that may pale in comparison to how twisted Jimmy Demarco's spine is right now.
An over-the-head, belly-to-belly suplex there from Rowe puts Jimmy Demarco into the front row. You see fans standing as their seats have now been demolished by the carnage created by Rowe.
And that wasn't done to win a match. That was done to send a message. That was done to make a statement. That was done to shorten, if not end, a career. And that may be what it takes right now. Rowe looks like he'll be happy to take a count out, and I don't see Jimmy Demarco barely stirring at this point.
We're at a 6 count now, and Jimmy Demarco is not getting up. Demarco being helped by fans, actually.
And Demarco, no quit. No quit at all. Never say die is Jimmy Demarco. Even when he probably should, he won't. And by God, this kid is back in the ring, and he's ready for more. Is that your best shot, Rowe?
Rowe answering with a monstrous forearm. Jimmy Demarco, I believe, is defenseless right now.
Jimmy Demarco's attitude is not going to prolong his career, may not prolong his lifespan, but it sure as hell going to earn him a lot of respect. But anybody watching this, and check out the sidestep by Demarco on the knees.
That might be the only defense Jimmy Demarco has right now, is to run. Jimmy Demarco needs to stay clear of Rowe until he gets some feeling back in his arm. You see him holding it down to its side.
You may be right, but Demarco gonna take the fight. Full speed ahead, full throttle. I don't think Demarco knows any other way at this point. He's too determined. He's too motivated. He's been through so much. From the family turning on him, to the crooked politics, to Necro Butcher. Demarco's out on his feet though. And Rowe took too much time. Demarco banged him in, but Rowe connects with the knees the second time.
That should be it here.
The cover and a near fall. And that has fallen a lot of great athletes. Those knees, they send you ricocheting back into the corner. Whiplash, not to mention the impact of the knees themselves.
I'm honestly not only impressed but shocked at the amount of punishment that Jimmy Demarco is taking right now. I thought this match was over when he went into the crowd, and Jimmy Demarco is taking Rowe's best and somehow fighting back. But the question is, for how long? How long can somebody withstand this type of punishment?
That's the clothesline. The C4. Demarco with C4. Can Demarco do this? 2.5.
Rowe, thank God Rowe kicks out.
Can you imagine if Jimmy DeMarco could pin Necro Butcher and Ray Rowe in back-to-back IWC outings?
I actually could not believe that. If you told me a year ago that would happen, I would call you a liar and bet my paycheck against it.
A second C4! A deep hawk! No! Again!
Still not enough to put Ray Rowe down.
Less than half a count away. And I'll be honest, I want to see Jimmy DeMarco do this. Jimmy DeMarco, and we talked about Gregory Iron earlier, but Jimmy DeMarco is an inspiration all his own here. What a success story. Oh, DeMarco got hung up on that senton. Oh no, Death Row! Done!
That's it.
Done!
Kick out from Death Row.
DeMarco had a good fight, but in the end, what?
Oh my God!
What?
Nobody has kicked out of Death Row.
DeMarco just survived the unsurvivable.
I think Bobby Williams has been paid off. I'm going on record and saying that right now. DeMarco did not kick out before a 3 count.
Jimmy DeMarco just survived a maneuver in which the name implies the reality. Death Row. And Rowe,
I'm speechless. I'm speechless, Dombrowski.
has to raise the stakes. Next level. As if we thought there was one beyond Death Row.
Well, now Bobby Williams doesn't want anything to happen in the match. It's okay for them to drop on him.
Wait, roll up! DeMarco! No! Well, it's one thing to fight all over this building, but when one guy's got a weapon, you got to draw the line somewhere.
I call that, judgment, in behest of who you want. Because Jimmy DeMarco should have been disqualified earlier tonight. There's no doubt about it. And I'm still in shock that Jimmy DeMarco kicked out.
That straight knee strike. And Rowe's, I believe the top of the bone of Rowe's knee is exposed. I don't think that knee pad is pulled up all the way.
No, he definitely pulled it down. And right now, if this was an MMA fight, the ref would stop it. Jimmy DeMarco is not even defending himself.
This is violent. No, DeMarco's been busted wide open right in the head from those knees. Straight bone on bone, knee to forehead. And Bobby Williams is calling for help here. This has got to stop. Rowe, a crossface. This has gone beyond sending a message here.
European crossface is right around here.
Our company doctor's out here. DeMarco is lifeless right now. He's motionless, and Rowe's not stopping. And the knees knocked DeMarco out. Straight up, DeMarco knocked, and now the elbow.
And if Ray Rowe's not going to win this match.
No, DeMarco's been beaten senseless.
They're going to call this match.
Stop the damn.
Get in there. Trying to end DeMarco's career right now.
He damn sure it is. And here comes the Gambino. And they've had their differences with their cousin, but they had to do something. Jimmy DeMarco seriously hurt.
Ray Rowe here debating whether...
And DeMarco still wants to fight. Can you believe this kid? DeMarco still wants some. And we talked about guts, intestinal fortitude. There's no way to sugarcoat it. It's straight up balls. That's all it balls at Jimmy DeMarco. And
Chuck Roberts just thrown across ringside by Ray Rowe.
Come on, Ray. We know you don't like Jimmy DeMarco. We know you want to prove a point, but that's enough. That is enough.
Jimmy DeMarco.